All right. And here we are. There's a lot to say. There's a lot to say, and we're going to get into it. And before I say anything about this, if you do not want to hear anything about this album, anything at all, leave the video, because I'm going to be talking about it. There's some people that want to hear everything about this. I'm one of those. There's some people that do not want to hear anything about this. That's not me. That's not me at all. I need to talk about this. And we'll talk about everything about it, some of the controversy, some of the misinformation, some of the things that I don't even know if it's misinformation, it's correct or not. And we'll discuss it, because I've seen multiple different things on what happened to this album, what is going on with this. There's a lot to discuss. So before we actually get into it, if you do not want to hear anything about this, but if you want to hear it prior to this whole leak, I will link a video prior to the leak of what we knew like 5-6 years ago of this album. And we'll be discussing stuff that is about this album before this leak even happened. That kind of proves a different point of some of the controversy that I heard from this. So we'll talk about it. We're going to talk about it. And I don't know everything. There might be more proof that I haven't seen yet. But I'm going from what I know, what I've seen, and the misconceptions that I've seen. And yeah, because really all these things that I'm saying that are misconceptions could be misconceptions of misconceptions. Let's be honest. But let's get into this, man. We need to fucking talk about this. I'm not going to just sit here. This gets leaked and not talk about it. I can't. It's impossible. I've been thinking about it all fucking day, bro. So yeah, I have to talk about it. So what is the Paper Kingdom? If you don't know, you don't know what this is. The Paper Kingdom was going to be MCR5. That's what this was going to be. It was going to be MCR5. Right after Danger Days, Gerard and the crew were going to make the Paper Kingdom. That's what their 5th album was going to be. So let's move on. So what is the Paper Kingdom? So this is the wiki. This is probably the best way to look at some of this stuff. There's other videos that I watch too, just to reflect some of the information. But yeah, all this kind of lines up with everything I heard. I don't know if those videos are made using the wiki, I assume. But yeah, we're going to be using the wiki here. So the Paper Kingdom was an unreleased album by MCR, obviously. It began work in 2012. It was going to be a concept album. And the story was about a support group of parents whose children had died. That's what it was. There's a I'll put it also in the description. There's a video of a interview with Gerard, and he talks about this. He literally says this verbatim. This is exactly what he says. It's an album. It was a concept album. This is exactly what he says. So yeah, we know that. So that's not like, oh, it's exactly what that sounds like. And then they weren't really feeling it, let's say. Well, they weren't really feeling this album. Stuff was coming up. They weren't feeling it. They weren't feeling the album. And even Frank said the rest of the project was unsalvageable. It was just not an album that was going through. It wasn't going to work out. It was a scrapped album. We got one of the songs, Fake Your Death, that was in the comp album, the greatest hits. May Death Never Stop You. That album, that comp album has Fake Your Death. That is a new song that was supposed to be from this Paper Kingdom album. So a little bit after they broke up in 2013. That's what we got. So that's all we really knew. We just knew it was going to be a concept album about a emotional support group whose children died. Sad. Really sad. That's fucked. And I definitely see why Gerard would scrap this. That is brutal. It is a brutal topic. and I think it's coming from after how, and I don't want to put anything in his mouth, obviously. I don't want to say that like this is why, but I think the reason he made this album is because his mental health. It even says here, the album's written was highly impacted by mental health of band members. So I guess it is kind of what he said. So he didn't want to make that. I feel like at this point, especially after making Danger Days was a little bit upbeat, but it definitely has some kind of heavier songs. But I mean, Bullets to Three Cheers to Black Parade into Conventional Weapons, then Danger Days. It's like, yeah. Gerard really needed that Hesitant Alien hit. Even though Brothers is kind of, I mean, it's like kind of uplifting, but at the same time, Conventional Weapons, Hesitant Alien definitely feels a little bit more upbeat than the little past stuff. So he definitely needed that. He definitely needed the Hesitant Alien hit. Let's be honest. But yeah, so that's kind of the basics around Paper Kingdom. A couple other things. We'll talk about some of this in a little bit, about the Radiohead thing there. I'm just kind of skimming through. Doug McKean, he'll be very important later. Is very dark. Yeah, nothing here is crazy. We'll come back to this one a little later. So what happened to the Paper Kingdom? So basically it was... They didn't feel it, basically. You know, the direction of the album, the mental health, obviously, stuff like that. You know, it just. Let's see here. All the joy was just gone. That's what Gerard said in an interview. So they just felt like the album was very bleak, and from that main synopsis is like, oh, it does sound bleak. It does sound real bleak, right? It does. So, and basically they said it wasn't even finished. The album wasn't even finished. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So yeah, it was just the band was, you know, they were just kind of done. I think they were just done. And that's fair. That's fair. I don't think, you know, that's fair. I don't think they needed to finish the album. I don't think they did. So yeah. And then there's a couple more. Let's see. What else did I underline here? We'll talk about that one. Let's see. They announced their breakup, obviously. Faker Death was on that album. Anything interesting here? Okay, here this one's interesting. In a 2014 interview, this is the one I think I was talking about, the interview that I'll link in the description. In 2014 interview, Gerard Way stated that he might revisit the Paper Kingdom story in the future, though it could be through a different medium. So he's not like saying, oh no, I never want to see the Paper Kingdom again, I don't want to talk about it. And I've seen a lot of misconceptions of that. We'll talk about that when we get to that. But he's not like, oh, that was terrible. Oh, that was the worst moment of my life. I never want to talk about this or think about the story again. No, he literally said, yeah, I'm fine. You know, in the future, I'd do it in a different medium, maybe a comic or a book or whatever it is. Play, whatever the fuck, right? He's not discarding the Paper Kingdom. He says, yeah, you know, maybe in the future I'll revisit it. Maybe. That's not a guarantee, obviously, but he didn't seem back then in 2014, literally like a year after they broke up. A year after, this is not like fucking 5 days ago he said this. This is an interview, and I'll link it in the description. This is the interview, and yeah, he says, yeah, maybe I'll go back to it. You know, maybe not now, obviously, 2014, he didn't do it now, but he didn't say like, no, I never want to think about it again. I know, I don't want to talk about it. I just want to point that out. Before we get to some of the other stuff. Here's a big one. Here's the big one. In 2022, a user on an internet forum, the Excalibur, claimed to have the entirety of the Paper Kingdom and posted an offer allowing users to purchase the demos for $15,000. He claimed that the album featured 12 tracks. We'll talk about that. And posted 3 snippets of alleged tracks named Dark Cloud, Wake Up, and Witch. The snippets were taken down shortly after afterwards for copyright, and the only one user seemingly purchased the album before the post with any mentions of the Paper Kingdom were covered up, and only one user seemingly purchased it. Interesting. During the band's performance in Los Angeles, they did play War Beneath the Rain. This was in the Black Parade. I actually saw it when I went to see them, so that was cool. Live. That was really cool. I got lucky there. But yeah, it doesn't say that on. And the song was dedicated to McLean's family. And we'll talk about who he is in a little bit. Discourse. Okay, let's talk about the leak now. So, the whole album is leaked, and it's not a full master. It's it's not like a full released album. It got completely leaked, and there's a lot of discourse through it. There's a lot of claims on what's going on and what happened, and we'll talk about it. So the main one that I've seen a lot of people say is, this is the main one, that let's go to Doug McLean, or McKean. He was helping with production on the album. That's what it says. It even says it on the thing right here. Producer, Doug McLean. McKean. I can't say his name properly. He passed away, I think, a couple months ago. Maybe. I don't know how long exactly, but he did pass away recently, which sucks. That's sad as fuck. But yeah, he did pass away. But a lot of people that I've seen are saying that whoever got this leak got it in right before 5 months before he passed away. They hacked his computer and got the full album, or the demos, because these technically are demos. That's how it leaked. And if that is true, that is really sad. If that is true, and I want to blatantly say that, if that is true, that is really sad. But to me, I don't really believe it. Yes, he was a producer, and yes, he probably had the album, and yes, even in an interview I watched, does it say it here? Let's see. Oh, spoilers with Kevin Smith. I don't think it was that one. No, there was I don't think it was a bigger one. It was kind of recent, actually. It was probably a 2022 interview with someone. I watched it. I'll try to link it if I can remember and I can find it. But there was an interview, and Gerard was actually working with Doug still, from my knowledge. I think he was still working with him. And they were talking about music, and I'm very interested. I'm like, okay, why are they talking about music if Gerard isn't making any music? He's not doing anything. I mean, obviously they have the tour, but it sounds like they're making new music. So you can connect it there where, yeah, Doug was still helping maybe try to flesh out some of the Paper Kingdom, or you could reach it as they were making new stuff, or making Foundations of Decay. Right? Maybe more of that, right? We don't know. Until whatever is going to happen, maybe after tours or whatever, right? So yeah, I want to mention that. So maybe, yeah, that could have happened. And if it did, like I said, it is really sad. Personally, to me, I don't think that's what happened, because of the 2022 user forum with Excalibur. I'm sorry, guys, but I don't think that's true. There's another claim of WB's servers. I think it's WB. I think it was servers getting hacked in 2013, 14, and a bunch of albums and songs are stolen from the servers. And that's another theory that is going on. Back in 2014, this album's been out forever. Just only a certain amount of people had it, and they were auctioning it off. Just like this character Excalibur. He was auctioning off the demos of the Paper Kingdom. And I think that matches a lot better to what I know about the album previously, what we previously knew about the album in 2022. We knew this happened. There were snippets that circulated of Dark Cloud and Wake Up, and then Witch fully leaked. I remember listening to Witch before all this happened. Witch leaked, and it is exactly what it is now. Not like I heard it or anything, but Witch is exactly what it is. That original leak is, yeah, Yeah, that was which. Yeah. So I'm just saying I do not believe the Doug thing. I think it's sad if that is true. And if there's more evidence, you can come up to me and say, hey, there's more evidence that, yeah, what happened to that? Yeah, 100%. But I need full proof. I can't, oh, it was, yeah, they stole it. No, like, no, you can't just say that to me and let me believe that. With the evidence we have, with the whole album thing, and what I've seen and what I've heard from the original leaks, before all this, before even Doug passed, sadly, which leaked, and bits of the other songs leaked, Dark Cloud and Wake Up, and we already knew the entire track list before. I'm sorry, but I just don't believe the Doug thing. I don't. If there's more concrete evidence of that, then yeah, that is really sad. But I just don't believe it. Do I believe that Doug probably had it? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I believe he definitely had it. But I just don't believe someone hacked him 5 months before he died or passed away. And that's how we have it. I'm sorry, I don't believe that. I don't think that's true. If there's more evidence of that, then yeah, I'll believe you. But right now, fuck no. I think the original WB server or Excalibur got it somehow, or when a different leaker got it somehow, and they've been selling it since, and then someone just fucking leaked the whole thing. That's what happened. Because from what I heard from other videos that I watched, they'll try to link, these people that stole the album, obviously, and are selling it for these high prices, they get mad. And they're like, oh, you don't want to pay this much? Oh, blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to drop the whole song. So that probably happened. Someone was going to try to buy the whole fucking album, and then someone else had it and just fucking dropped the whole thing. I'm just saying, that's probably what happened. I really do think that's what happened. So that's where I'm going with the leak. That's what I think. Which was already leaked before. We had different bits and snippets of everything else. Yeah, it was leaked. It was leaked. I'm sorry to say. It was leaked prior to this. People had it. There was definitely people that had it before the thing, before Doug passed away. Like, people had it. People had the full album. And I think people probably heard the full album before. People that probably won't even say. So yeah, so I also want to say the discourse, the reason I'm saying discourse is because people are trying to frame people that are listening to the leaked album that is leaked and which has been leaked. I want to mention that, which has been leaked previously, before the whole Doug thing. People are trying to frame people that are listening to the album as assholes or bitches or fuckheads because of the Doug thing. Because people think the Doug thing is real. Which, like I said, if it is, that is sad. But like, not believing that, that's fine if you believe that, but it's a leaked album. If you're going to get in an uproar over a leaked album leaking and people wanting to listen to it, I'm sorry, but I think you're the big baby of the situation. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And there's also people saying that the band broke up because Paper Kingdom and everything that happened. Gerard literally said that he would do the story in a different medium. I don't think he's sad about that. I think the breakup was more like a mutual thing. Hey guys, this is a depressing album. We got families going on. You think we should just break up the band? They're probably like, yeah, I'm kind of with you, Gerard. That's a good idea. We had our fun. Let's release a song called Fake Your Death as well, because we'll definitely be back. Maybe in like 10 years to do your reunion or something. Yeah, good idea. Good idea, guys. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. I'm sorry, but like, I can visualize that so easily. It just makes so much sense. I'm sorry. I don't think it was this great big falling out like the Beatles. And even the Beatles, I don't even think had a crazy falling out. It was more, I think it was a mutual thing. It's like, we released some pretty good albums, guys. I think we'll call it wraps. Let's wrap it up here. We'll be back. Maybe we'll be back, and here we are, I'm just saying, I don't think it was this big, they broke up over the Paper Kingdom. No. I mean, like, Frank did say something like that. Where did he say that? Let me see. He definitely said something. The rest of the project was unsalvageable. Sorry, I have the entire thing. Where did he say the band's where to take the music? I thought he said something about it. I don't see anything about it. Bleak. Band overall struggle with the direction at the time. It was on to make a decision on where to take the music. It just seems like, furthermore, he later stated that the band overall struggled with direction at the time. They just kind of didn't know where to go with it. They were just kind of like, yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do. We're kind of just scratching our heads and itching our asses, you know. It's like, okay. Anything? Let's see. The direction he wanted to try to replicate the success of the Black Parade. So it kind of feels like he was just trying to make a big, you know. Yeah, I don't leading to yeah. I wanted to tell. Yeah, I don't really see anything. It's very dark. The band wasn't working on music itself. Yeah. Yeah, to be honest, I don't really. Yeah, he just said it was unsalvageable, which that was blatantly a lie. Yeah, I don't really say anything about it, to be honest. Eero told him that. Oh, here we go. Wait. Eero told him that nothing worthwhile had come out of the album's writing session, that if anything positive had come out of it, the album likely would have been scrapped, and the band would not have broken up. I don't know, man. I'm sorry, Ray. I'm sorry, Frank. An interview with My Chemical Romance biographer Tom Bryant, Eero told him that nothing worthwhile had come out of the album's writing sessions, and that if anything positive had come out of it, the album likely would have been scrapped and the band would not have broken up. Ray. Frank, bro, you're kind of a little bitch. What is that quote? Guys, I think that's a lie. I think they mutually broke it up. I think it was just like a shake your hand breakup. I know Frank is a part of the band, but I feel like that's a little dramatic. Am I crazy? Especially since in 2014 interview, Way stated that he might revisit the Paper Kingdom story in the future. I don't know, man. I don't know. That sounds strange to me. That sounds a little strange. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyways, I don't think that's the reason. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't believe it. I think they broke up on mutual terms. They're all having families. They're just, yeah, we're done. You know, we had a good run. Let's call it. We did pretty good. I'm sorry. I think that's what happened. So yeah. So that's the main discourse with it. So yeah, the snippets, right? And there's a lot more discourse we can talk about. So we also have the Doug thing, which, like I said, I really don't believe it's sad if that is true, but I just don't believe it. You have the WB server hack, which I do believe it. That one makes sense. That one's the blatant one because Witch got leaked. Snippets of the other songs got leaked. The whole song list got leaked because of that. The whole song list got leaked. We knew every single individual song name because of that. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I believe the whole WB leak, server leak, and then people trying to sell it and then just dumping the songs. It's like, oh, you're not gonna pay me this much? Fuck you! I'm just gonna release the song, or however they like fuck bid war bullshit with the leaked songs. And I also want to mention before we continue this discourse is whoever leaked it. Yeah, you can say fuck them. I think that's fair. Let's be honest. Would I have rather MCR to release this? Yeah. Yeah, come on. Yeah, they should have. That would have been great. Come on, man. Should they release it on their own accord? Yes, they should. But if you're going to criticize people for listening to leaks and say, oh, the band broke up because of this, which I don't really believe. I think it was more of a falling out and then like, yeah, I don't know what we're going to do musically. This isn't really working. It's just kind of whatever. I kind of want to do my own things, guys. Guys, I got family back home. And Gerard's like, yeah, I want to go make some crazy ass good album called Hesitant Alien. Maybe I'll revisit the story later at a later date. I'm sorry. I don't think it was this crazy big falling out and they started throwing tables and chairs at each other. I just don't. I don't believe that. I really don't. I think it was more of a mutual, yeah, this isn't going to work. I just don't think it's going to work. I think it was more of a mutual thing. But like I said, should it have gotten leaked? No. No, I don't think it should have gotten leaked. I'd rather MCR release it on their own accords, on their own time. If this was supposed to build up to an actual release of these demos, like a conventional weapons drop, man, that sucks. I'll be mad if that was what this was supposed to be. If like the whole tour thing was supposed to build up and they were supposed to release like a conventional weapons kind of drop with all these, that would have been great. That would have been cool. I'd be pretty disappointed if that is true. But do not criticize people for listening to this. If you're going to come here and you're going to be like, oh, fuck you, dude, you're supporting the leak. It's like, I'm not supporting the leak. I'm talking about it because I think it's interesting. It's interesting to talk about this. It's interesting to like it's just interesting to speak about this. What is so not interesting to talk about this? It's MCR lore. It's one of their scrapped albums. I don't get why you don't see that. If you don't want to listen to it or you don't want to discuss it, that is completely fine. You can do that. But I think people should be able to are allowed to listen to it if they want to, discuss it if they want to, and talk about it. I think that's completely fine. I think that is completely fine. Can you still listen to the album and say fuck the guy that leaked it? Yeah, because I think MCR should have released this on their own accord, 100%. But can you like criticize people for listening? It was like, oh, that was stolen from Doug. No, I'm sorry. I still don't believe that. I don't believe that unless there's more proof. I don't believe that for a second. Which was already leaked. The whole track list was leaked. This was a WB leak back in 2014. There's no way in hell. There's more evidence for that than the Doug theory. There's way more evidence for that. I'm sorry. Until you give me actual proof, please give me proof if there is more evidence for that. Until you give me more proof, I just don't believe the Doug theory. It just doesn't make sense to me. There's no proof that I've seen for it. I've just seen people say that. And it's just easy to say that. You go to the Wikipedia page and you're like, oh, he was the producer. They stole it from him. I'm sorry. Like, did he have it? Yeah, he probably did. But I don't think it leaked from him. Maybe it leaked all the way back in 2014, but it was WB servers probably, I assume. So, I don't know. But I think it was more that because Witch leaked like 3 years ago. 4 years ago. So... yeah, and snippets of the other songs leaked. So yeah, and there's also discourse about like, oh, the band doesn't want you to hear this. The band doesn't. Oh no, they don't want you to hear this. Let's talk about the things. So a couple interesting things. We'll talk about this. I probably should have put this one last. A couple interesting things. One of the songs, Paper Swords, actually plays in these two videos, a summoning and an offer. Towards the end of each of these videos, there's a piano bit, and then Gerard's saying like some chant. It is what is in the song. It like right in the middle of the song. It's exactly what this is, which is really interesting. If they didn't want you to hear it, then why would they put a snippet of it in the video? I don't know. I think it's really stupid to say that. Oh, they don't want you to hear any of this. Like, should they release it on their own accord? Yeah, 100%. But at the same time, people are trying to like gatekeep and say like, oh. Fucking they never wanted you to hear this. This is not allowed for you to hear. Like this is for them. This is for them. It's like, or like, it's like really dumb stuff. Like, what else did I hear? I'm like, what are you even talking about? I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. But if they didn't want you to hear any of this, then they wouldn't have put the little snippet of Paper Swords in this. I'm sorry. They also, I don't know. Oh, they've also obviously War Beneath the Rain. That was from it. I know that was more of a dedicated to McKean thing, Doug, but they still played it. You know, they didn't have to play it. That was in the album. So if they wanted to leave, if they thought this big breakup was that bad and they didn't want to talk about it, discuss it ever again, I don't think they would have ever used a snippet of Paper Swords in these two videos, or ever mention any of these songs again if it was that bad of a breakup. I'm just saying. Anyways, here's a little thing. Very interesting. One of the videos from a year ago when they first announced the tour, one of the videos is called Opera, and one of the songs on the album is called Operation Day. I'm just saying, and it's very interesting because Long Live the Black Parade, Operation Day, you know, kind of like war-esque, right? Am I reaching? I don't know. Is there anything else to say about this before we quickly go on to quickly talk about the album, because I will be talking about it here. So yeah, the discussion, like I said, I just don't think it's worth fighting over if you should listen to this or not. If you want to listen to it, go listen to it. I'm not going to be, I don't have it. I didn't even listen to it yet. So, you can find it maybe. I don't know. Gerard might be knocking at my door soon. But I don't know. I don't think it's fair to criticize people for listening to an album by a band that they like, leaked or not. I think that's strange. I don't know. I think that's strange. And the whole, like I said, the Doug thing, I don't believe that. But if you do believe that, like I said, that's sad. But I just don't see it. I don't. You got to give me proof. I can't. Like, did he have the album? Yeah, he probably fucking did. He probably did. I don't doubt that he had the album. He was the producer. But do I think they stole it from him before he passed away? No, I think it got leaked. The Witch got leaked 3 fucking years. I can't think of the Doug. I think it's just, to be honest, I think it's insensitive to even say that they stole it from Doug, because it just doesn't make sense. I feel like you're being an asshole saying someone stole it from a guy that passed away. I'm sorry. I just don't think that's true. I think it's been spreading around ever since the WB leak, and people have just been, it's been on the download because people kept buying it for money, for a shit ton of money. 15,000. Look at that. 15,000. Yeah, I would keep that shit on the download. Just kidding. I don't solicit shit. Fuck off. I don't solicit shit like demos and shit. Crazy. But like, you see what I mean? People are soliciting the leak demos for 15 grand each. You go into Double B, you leak the demo, you get the entire album, and you start selling one like little 30-second snippets for 15 grand. Imagine, right? Yeah, you would probably just, like, no one has this. It's like one person bought it. You know what I mean? So like, yeah. But yeah, like I said, all the songs that we know that are on this album were leaked. We had the whole set list before any of this. And people were selling it before any of the Doug stuff. So I'm sorry, but I just don't believe any of it. I just don't believe it. I don't believe the Doug thing. I think it's just being an asshole. To be honest, if you can give me some hard evidence that they did steal it from Doug, then go ahead. But I just don't believe it because of the Witch leak and the snippets of the other songs getting leaked. I just don't believe it. And the whole album was, the song names were all leaked. People had this. People had this album forever. There was probably like 20 people in total that probably had this album. Leakers. I'm not saying MCR. I'm saying leakers. You know? So, yeah. But like I said, can you be mad at the leaker? Yeah. I would have loved MCR to release this on their own. Random drop on a random Friday or some shit. That would have been crazy. But here it is now. And I don't think it's fair to criticize people for listening to it. If they want to listen to it, they can listen to it. If you don't want to listen to it, you don't have to listen to it. You don't have to listen to it. And that is totally fair. But let people talk about it. Let people discuss it. This is MCR stuff. Let people like MCR and talk about the MCR scrapped album. Because it's interesting. It's interesting stuff. It's interesting lore. So yeah. And I don't think MCR is like, we never want anyone to hear this. When they've used snippets of the song in these videos. And they've talked about it in, maybe I'll revisit the story soon. And we'll release one of the songs. And then we'll play one of them live. And then use a snippet in this. I'm sorry. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. All right. Other than that, I don't think there's that much else to talk about it. Then we'll talk about the songs quickly. My concept of the songs. So let's quickly do that. All right, so here is my concept of the album. This is my concept of the album. So you see, I'm fucked. No, just kidding. I should be fine if I don't play any of it. I'm talking about it. I can express my opinions on stuff. Anyways. So you obviously have Fake Your Death. The very interesting thing about this album, is I think it's crazy for Frank to say that it was unsalvageable, because everything here that I heard was just they were demos, and they were fine demos. There's nothing unsalvageable about this. I think Frank might have been the most heated one in the room, because everyone, Gerard seemed fine. He's like, yeah, maybe I'll revisit. Frank might have just been mad or something. He might have been like, had it like someone shat in a cereal that day when they were trying to make this album. He was not feeling this album, I don't think. I don't know what it was. I don't know if he ate something bad that day or what. But he seems the most with the interviews and the things you read, he seems the most pissed. Gerard, when he's talking about it, he's like, yeah, it was a concept album, I wasn't in the right headspace, And then Frank's like, that album fucking sucked. It was the most bland shit of all time. No one knew what the fuck they were doing. Like every day, if we actually had a good writing room, on a day that was actually productive, we would have scrapped the album and the band would have still been together. Dude, so Frank's starting to become an asshole with this whole deep dive I did. This whole deep dive, Frank is slowly becoming an asshole of this, because Gerard seemed fine. It was like, yeah, it wasn't the story I wanted to tell. That's fine. Frank just feels like he was just moody, like really moody. Like, no, I never want to talk about that. Shit was ass. Everyone fucking I got diarrhea that day. Like, Frank just seems like an absolute fucking asshole during the whole Paper Kingdom ordeal. Well, Gerard's like, yeah, maybe I'll revisit the story one day, but I'm not really. It's like, I wasn't feeling it. Yeah, whatever. Frank just seems like a fucking douchebag talking about it. Anyways, that's all I have to say about that, because it's rough, because the album is not unsalvageable. It is fine. It is intact. And man, there's some songs in here that I really want to release in full. Main one, the original leak, Witch. Oh my, dude, my concept of Witch is really good. It's a concept. It's good. It's really good. Witch is probably one of my highlights. The album, if we're gonna go back to that thing, that the whole what's it called? They were talking about how it's a very distinct album. It's not like MCR. And yeah, I kind of see that. I feel like people just say that. It's like, oh, this is our new album. It doesn't sound like us at all. I feel like people do say that, but I think that's true with this album. I really do. It obviously has the MCR shtick, right? It definitely has the MCR shtick. But at the same time, I definitely see where they're coming from. It really doesn't. Like, you could say, like, when they said the darkest album, like, no, it's not that dark. I mean, it's not dark in the sense of, I haven't listened to it enough to where, like, I know what's going on in the story. And I don't even know, because I want to mention that this album entirely, it's not finished. It's a bunch of demos. And if we've looked at MCR's demos, like we could talk about here, let me go to MCR. We could talk about Ghost with you, or what's it called? Ghost this. There's The Five of Us Are Dying. This is a Black Parade mix. I'm pretty sure it's that one. Oh god, I'm dying. Party thing in the world. I think it's The Five of Us Are Dying. I think it's this one. This is Welcome to Black Parade. This was the demo of Welcome to Black Parade. It is very different. So yeah, this album could have been very different if it was complete. It was finished. All above. So like, if you're gonna listen to this and listen to Welcome to Black Parade, if you haven't, compare those two. Yeah, very very different. So yeah. It could have been very different, so maybe the story isn't lined up. But I also want to mention, these are live demos. These are live demos, and like half the songs interlap. Like they all lead into each other. Every single song, or like a good majority of them. The only ones that don't really are Fake Your Death and like, I think maybe High Hopes and towards the end, but these all lead in. Like Paper Swords and Dive lead in. Like a majority of these songs lead into one of each other. Majority of them, like Witch leads right into Bike Thief. Like these all lead into each other. They all lead right in, and it's actually insane. So it definitely is connected in some aspects, but it's just it's so interesting, and that's why I think it is fine for people to talk about it, because it's just it's so interesting. Let people talk about it. It's so interesting. Why can people not talk about it? I hate that.
Oh, I block you. If you talk about the Paper Kingdom, I'm gonna block you. If you listen to the Paper Kingdom, I am blocking you.
No, but it's so interesting, bro. Let people talk about it. It's so interesting. Why can we not have a conversation about the album? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm sorry. I don't see that view, and I still don't get the Doug thing. I don't. Like, yeah, he was a producer. He definitely had the album, but this shit was definitely leaked like a decade ago, but only a few select people had it. Like this was definitely out there. Also, these titles, some of these are correct from the original leak, but some of them are new. So I'm not sure. This is the list that I found of the names. So some of these could be wrong, some of these could be right. But like Witch was an original leak. Bike Thief, I think, was an original. This is original. Louder, I think. This is new. Dive, I think, is new. Perfectly Well, I think, is new as well. I could be wrong. But yeah, some of these are new additions. Because like I said, or like the article said, or what we were looking at Wikipedia, it said there were supposed to be 12 songs. There's 16 here. So there's 3 extra. So either they were going to combine a couple of these. Like Dive and Paper Swords could be combined. It leads in really well. Like these lead in really well. It like leads in with a phone call with the dad. Like the mom and the kid to the dad. It's a little. I gotta hear it again because like it's talking about the happy birthday thing. Like I gotta. There's a lot to decipher with this album. Let me be honest. And like I can't really I can't really like what's the word? Imagine the full story. It's kind of hard. I don't really see the whole group thingy yet. But the thing is about most of their concept albums is they're not really fully put together. Let's be honest. Like Black Parade is a concept album in practice, but it's you really have to reach, and not reach in like a it's like, yeah, this and this. Like you have to like, okay, this is this part of his life and this is that, but this is referring to that in that song. It like you kind of have to do that. So I don't know if that's what this is doing. I'm not sure at all. So, yeah. Anyways, it is a very slow album. The most, I mean, okay, there's definitely like punky rock songs like a normal MCR album, but if I had to pick, when they say darkest, I feel like they mean slow. and then like depressing slow, because I feel like a lot of these songs are that. And when they, like I said, when they said the darkest album, yeah, I kind of see where they were going. I definitely see where they were going. So yeah, I definitely see that. I definitely see why they would be saying that, because it makes sense with this album. So yeah, there's definitely some louder songs, but they're like very gothic, like dark, witch especially. Dive is pretty interesting with Paper Swords. Obviously, War Beneath the Rain, everyone probably has heard that, the live version at least. The most uplifting song is actually Fake Your Death. Funny enough. And everyone has heard Fake Your Death. There's no way you haven't. That is public. You can listen to that. But yeah, man, this album is so interesting. I need to listen to it more, and I will be talking about it probably again, but it's just so interesting not to talk about. I have to talk about this because it's just everything about this, and I'm very interested, like, I'm so interested if this was actually supposed to be released like a conventional weapons, and if it is, that would suck. But at the same time, it is cool that we have this now. But like, obviously, like I said, MCR should have released this on their own accord. It shouldn't have gotten leaked. Yeah. But like I said, I think this has been, I think that people have had this for a decade. I think this has been, like, only a couple people have had it, and they've been selling it off to different people for thousands of dollars. And it finally just fully got leaked. I don't see the Doug thing, and I'm going to keep saying it. I don't see the Doug thing. I just don't get that. I don't get that like whole theory, I guess. I think it just doesn't make sense unless there's actual proof, some crazy proof. And I need proof. I don't need to see like, oh, he said, she said kind of thing. No. I need like proof of it getting stolen fully from Doug before. But I don't think so. I think that WB thing makes a lot more sense. I think that makes a lot more sense, especially since Witch got leaked before. You had the whole Sellers. You had the whole track list getting leaked before, and they all line up with now. I just think that makes a lot more sense. I think that getting that whole leak makes a lot more sense than the Doug thing. I think it makes a lot more sense because there's more evidence there. There's a lot more evidence with that. So yeah. Anyways, it's a very interesting album. It is very interesting, and it's very different. Like I said, it's not. Yeah, it's very different. It's conventional weapons like in a sense, because it does kind of feel disjointed in a sense, but at the same time, mostly all the songs interlink. They all interlink. I don't know what to say about the album. It's just, I gotta give it like a week or so to like fully officially say stuff about this album, because it's so strange. It's so interesting. There's so much to talk about it with it. But oh man, it's so weird. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. It's such an interesting thing to talk about, and that's why I'm here. Because I think it is interesting, and I think people that are saying don't listen to it, it disrespects them, I think are stupid. It's like, no, I don't think it does. Gerard literally said he would redo the story. It doesn't seem like they're scared to talk about it. I feel like Frank's the only one that kind of like doesn't like the album. I think Frank was the only one in the room that was like, this album fucking sucks, dude. I'm done. From that, you can literally read the wiki. That's what it really sounds like. It sounds like Frank is like literally the only one that's just like, nah, bruh. I'm not feeling this album. I think it's soulless. I think it's shit. Oh man, this sucks. This sucks, dude. I don't know. I think he was acting like a little baby the entire time from that wiki. I don't know, man. And Gerard's just like, yeah, it's probably not a good album, really. I wasn't feeling it. Gerard feels very like, humble about it. Maybe I'll talk about it later. He mentions it a lot. He seemed like he mentioned it a lot too. So I don't know how to feel about it. So yeah, if anyone else has listened to it, which I don't think is a bad thing too, if you find it, I'm not gonna be giving out this. You can find it on your own. It's pretty easy to find. It's out there now, so it's not like where you had that really shitty quality of Witch that sound like it was recorded on a phone. which this is my concept album. So yeah, it's not like that. It's demos. Like, listen to Bury Me in Black or even Emily. It's like demos. So it's actually audible. It's not unfinishable, or what did Frank say? Unrecoverable. No, it's not that. Sounds fine. And I do want to say, guys, MCR, if you were gonna like, dude, oh my god. If you guys were gonna release anything from this album, why'd it have to be Fake Your Death, which is way better. Which is so good, which is actually amazing. If you guys get a chance to listen to any song, if you have listened to the original like leak of Witch, it's good in there. You can hear that it's good, but hearing the original demo of Witch is insane. I'm sorry, guys. Like, you could have scrapped the entire album. Just give me Witch. This shit's gassed. Some of their best instrumentals, dude. I'm not lying. Which is so good. So if you have a chance, please listen to Witch. Witch is so good. Witch is my favorite, I think, of the album. There's some other good stuff. I like the interlude of Paper Swords and Dive. I think those are good interludes. We're Beneath the Rain's interesting to hear, not live. Very interesting to hear that as a studio. Perfectly Well is kind of meh. It's kind of a meh ender song. It's whatever. It's whatever. I definitely see why this was a scrapped album. This is definitely not their best. There's good stuff on here, though. Don't get me wrong, guys. You guys were kind of cooking, but I get why you guys scrapped it. You guys were cooking, though. You guys were cooking. I think this is Frank's a fucking idiot. This was a salvageable album. You're just an asshole, Frank. I'm sorry. And I know Gerard scrapped it, right? But I don't know. Frank saying it was an unsalvageable album is crazy. Gerard said it best. It's just like, we weren't feeling it. That's fine. I take that opinion from Frank. Yeah, we weren't feeling. If Frank said, yeah, we weren't feeling it. It wasn't going well. It was, he's kind of said that, but he literally said, oh, it was unsalvageable. The only salvageable one was Fake Your Death. Shut up, bro. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. This album isn't unsalvageable. It just needs a little work and some switches. You keep some of the good stuff. You get rid of some of the boring stuff, and you add some of the oomph. I don't think it's like Birthday Girl's pretty good too. Birthday Girl, I don't know why. It reminds me of Emily for some reason. I don't know why. Some of these songs I don't really remember. Some of these are instrumentals. What was the one that was like a full instrumental? That's not Bike Thief. Was it Falling Down? Was it Dark? No, it wasn't Dark Clouds. I don't know. I don't remember. Louder? I don't remember. Man, it might have been the Airport one. I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah. There's so much to talk about with this album. I'm definitely going to like review it or something after I like listen to it more. Obviously, I can't play anything. This is my concept album. It's my fun concept album. I'm making my own concept album, and I'll review my own concept album. This is my concept album of Paper Kingdom. I'm writing my own fan fiction of it. I'm making my own interpretations of a set list that wasn't leaked. Anyways, we should be fine. I'm not playing any of it. I'm just talking about it. Gerard, I'm only talking about it. I can talk about it. That's fine, right? I can talk about it. I didn't play a song. The only thing you're looking at is Figured Out. I mean, you're looking at the other songs. I didn't play shit, okay? I'm not giving anyone this. All right? They find on their own. It's not my fault. I didn't listen to it either. This is my concept, Gerard. Come on, man. Come on. Anyways, that's really about it with the Paper Kingdom. It is insane for this to get leaked. But like I said, it was inevitable. I don't believe the Doug leak. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. You got to give me some crazy good evidence and proof for that Doug leak to make sense. It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. I'm sorry. Okay, it does make sense in the sense that, yes, he definitely had the album, but it doesn't make sense, and we already know that snippets and bits and people have had this album since the WB leak, and it's been circulating ever since 2022. This was leaked a while ago, and only a certain amount of people had it. And it finally just dropped because some guy was just like, you know what? Fuck it. That's what I think happened. That's what I think happened. I don't think it was this crazy ass someone hacked into Doug right before he passed and stole the album. I just don't. I'm gonna keep reiterating it because I just don't believe it. I don't believe that. And I don't want to hear anyone saying, "Oh, you shouldn't listen to the album. Oh, you're not a true fan." It's like, buddy, if you don't want to listen to it, you don't have to. But respect me. Like, you don't need to respect me listening to it. Just don't say that, "Oh, you shouldn't listen to that. What were you doing? Why did you even listen to that? They broke up the band because of that." They did not break up the band because of that. They broke up the band probably because of a mutual agreement. It seems like Frank was the only one that was really mad about how bad the Paper Kingdom was. Frank's like, "This is shit. I'm fucking done, guys." Maybe he was the one that threw a plate at someone. Maybe he did get violent. Maybe he was the one. He's like, "This fucking sucks. Man, let me make this banger ass song. It's the witch," and throw a plate at someone. I don't know. We may never know anything more about this album, this leak, but I feel like something's coming. I feel like either they gotta talk about it, they gotta mention it, they gotta release it, or something. Because you can't just have this leak and not do anything with it. Because people are just gonna make fan concepts. Yep, make fan concepts. Make fan concepts like this. This is a great fan concept. You guys like my fan concept? I think it's a cool fan concept of the album. But I'm just saying. With it being out, why not just release it? Anyways, yeah. That's about it for the Paper Kingdom, man. Like I said, I don't think it should have got leaked. I don't believe the Doug thing. I don't think that's real. I don't think it should have got leaked. Fuck the guy that leaked it. Should have been MCR that released this at a random Friday. That would have been cool. With like better, like a remat, like an actual album. At least the quality of conventional weapons. I mean, even releasing it like this would have been fine. It sounds fine to me. So, yeah. Other than that, that's about it. But my concept for the Paper Kingdom. See ya.